YouTube. So, back with another one for you. So this one here is a continuation on creditors and their bonds. So this is a good one. I mean, this is crucial information to understanding what it is that your relationship is with the state, where you stand, and how to properly operate your trust. So whenever you're dealing with these people, you know exactly what it is that your role is, because ultimately it's all, I mean, this whole shit is a fucking movie. It's a play. It's a fucking game. They just taught us how to play this shit wrong so they could fucking win, right? And so that shit is over now. So now you learn how to operate in your proper capacity, and you don't have to deal with their fucking nonsense anymore. And you know how to ask them the right questions to put them in their place. Essentially, these are your public servants, and they're fucking acting like something else. When I don't, maybe they don't know what the fuck a dictionary is, because the definition of servant is a fucking helper. It's a minion, right? That's literally the legal definition of, and I mean, I have a video on the definition of what a servant is. Scroll down. You can see that. If you are a public servant and you're an agent and you're listening, go scroll down and look what a fucking servant definition is, so you can know what the fuck that you're supposed to be doing, because you motherfuckers are out of line. Out of line. So anyway, where I get all this information from too is a lot of the Facebook groups. Well, two of them specifically is the high frequency the high frequency radio Facebook group. It's ran by Yusuf L. He's a fucking savage with this shit. I mean, borderline genius is fucking do this, to keep it a buck with you. I mean, I followed him for years, learned a lot of crucial information. He drops motherfucking gems. That dude is a savage with this shit. Go check him out if you want more in-depth, elaborate information on this. I cater to the people who don't have a fucking attention span longer than 5 minutes. That's why these videos are so short. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Motherfuckers can't watch the video for more than 5 minutes, but they can work a job for fucking 40 years to pay off a mortgage that's already paid for. You fucking figure that out, right? Go ahead and figure that shit out. So anyway, moving on. So what we have here, it says, presentment has a complaint, a moving party, right? Everything is a presentment, everything is an offer. You have no obligations to these fucking people at all, right? You should entertain them, and you should fucking fund them if you use any of their services, whatever the fuck it is, right? Fucking food stamps, welfare, fucking health insurance, public schools, whatever the fuck services that you use from them, they need funding to fucking keep that shit going. They can't tell you that they're fucking broke, because then you'll know that you're the boss. So they're gonna fucking trick you into fucking going into dishonor to trick you out of your goddamn money, right? So know what it is that they want. They just want you to fucking accept it. But so you don't have to argue with them. And when you do argue with them, you end up right in their jurisdiction, and you fucking lose automatically. Automatically lose. Okay? So keep that shit in mind. So what is it that's trying to move? What is the complaint? It is usually a statute as the grounds for the complaint. Now, keep in mind, codes and statutes are just corporate policy that they try to force on you in the private to fucking trick you out of your goddamn money. They could just ask nicely, right? If public and private can't mix, the complaint must be against the public strawman, not you, right? It's against the all capital letter name, which is not you. You're the authorized representative of that shit. Why would the state care if a piece of paper violated a fictitious law? What is the motivation? The state is trying to move you to let it use your credit. If you refuse, the state can move to the court to grant use from your dishonor. So does the state really have a complaint, or is it just asking for your help? Maybe the complaint is that it's out of money. There is no money. None on the private side, gold or silver. None on the public side except your credit. There is only credits and debits, right? That's all that there is. There is no fucking money that's being used around there. Does the office manager, when it needs more money for paper clips, it requisites the guy on the top floor for more money to buy more paper clips? Does the boss say no? No way. Of course not. That would be counterproductive to the purpose of the business. Think of the state as your business. You need to be sure that there are enough paper clips or the business may fail. Why would you refuse to honor the requisition? Why would you argue about whether or not the requisition form was filled out properly? Why would you deny Why would you deny you are the proper party to fulfill the requisition? Why would you ignore the requisition? Why would you get mad and start charging the messenger with fraud? If you ignore the requisition to spend all your boss's money trying not to fulfill the requisitions, the business will fail. Where would that leave you? Your business is down the tubes. You might be in jail for breach of contract. Your property has been taken by the corporate attorneys. Your money is gone. All the people who depended on your business have to use other sources of your products and services. You are a very irresponsible businessman. Excuse me. If you had just signed the requisition, you would still be on the top floor. Instead, the trust assets are gone, and you are making license plates. All right. So the state has no substance. It has no money. It has no inherent right to anything except what it has created, which is a straw man. Which it does. It does create the straw man. It fucking owns it until you fucking capture that shit with a UCC1. Then you fucking own that shit. You're taking it into the private now. It has a very important function. It has been charged with providing for the means by which you can go into the grocery store, gas stations, library, shopping mall, airport, car dealerships. It does not get its money from somewhere. It cannot continue to provide the infrastructure that you find so convenient. The only source it has is taxes. License permits and registrations fees are a source of revenue for the state, but that is not sufficient for the giant octopus feeding machine we have grown to love and depend on. It needs to feed off your credit, and if you don't voluntarily let the state use it, the state will use your dishonor to take it. So, you want to get out of the habit of arguing with these fucking people. You don't have to fucking argue with them. You can still fucking reject their shit. You get a big fucking rejection stamp. It really ain't that serious. But you don't got to argue. For what? You don't go there to argue the matter. You go there to fucking argue the point. Or not even to argue, just to put them on notice as to the fact that you're either going to entertain it or you're not. Right? And since they're the one making the claim, making all the fucking assertions, you don't have to make any claims. Leave the burden on them. The burden of proof is on them to prove that you somehow violated the law or some shit. So if you have filed a claim against a straw man, the state doesn't even control that anymore. If you have named the Secretary of State as a secured party, it has additional expenses as trustee of the property held in the name of that straw man. The situation is getting worse for the state. Where will it get its money? It needs to continue supplying all the services that you expect from it. That has to go to you and ask you for your credit. Have you ever had to ask your dad for financial help after you left his house and you were out of town? It is embarrassing. The state does not want to just ask if you can use your credit. It will have to find creative ways to ask for it and save face in the process. The trick is for the state to ask for your help without an unenlightened person, a U.S. citizen, being able to see it. The state must have your credit and is going to get it one way or another. Right? People are fucking, they're creeps. For real. I kind of feel bad for them sometimes, but I don't feel bad for the people who are pieces of shit and operate like fucking pricks, because that shit is unnecessary, especially in business. Because I really hope that you don't think you're going to come and fucking hijack me or rob me at all, because two can play that game. And I play that fucking game. Trust me, I play that game. So it is going to get the easy way or the hard way. It's all up to you. So the only thing that the state can take is your body. It has no other substance in your possession unless you voluntarily authorize the state to use it. You always have a choice to retain possession of your substance or let the state take possession of it. Remember, possession is 9/10 of the law. So what is the other 1/10 then? Honor. Rule number 2, stay in honor at all costs. Your mission should be to decide to accept it, is to honor the state when it asks you in its aggressive way. To let you use this credit exemption. It's still up to you though. And like I said, you don't have to fucking argue with them. You can fucking default them into your judgment just through the mail. You don't have to go there like that. Even though you know how they play, they'll fucking kidnap you for a fucking civil crime, right? If you want to call it a crime, quote unquote crime. The state is raising you up as the creditor every time it gives you a presentment. It is your choice. You can honor the state by accepting its presentment and issuing an authorization voluntarily for it to get enough of your credits to equal the value of its presentment, dollar for dollar. Or you can voluntarily dishonor the state by refusing, arguing, making it prove its claim, or defending the straw man, pretending the state has no right to make its claim. Right? Wow, that is a hard choice. You can voluntarily authorize the state's use of your exemption, or you can voluntarily dishonor the state, at which time it will use your dishonor to take the property from the strong man and take your body and collect rent while you sit in jail. Gee, what should I do? Right? What I would do is what I fucking did. Right? I went and I did the fucking UCC lien on my fucking strong man, and I captured that motherfucker, and I got that nigga in my back pocket. Come fucking get it if you think it's yours. You know what I'm saying? I have proof to the contrary. So that's going to put you in a position to prove that you're not operating in fraud. You're not trying to fucking extort somebody by fucking scaring them, right? By threat, duress, coercion, right? whatever means that you deem necessary is not gonna fucking fly over here because I have proof that I have fucking a primary lien, and that I'm the primary holder on that lien, right? And so there's a process involved with that too. So go ahead and get your hands on a book called One Man Out, the PDF. Check that out. It goes through the process of capturing a straw man. And then, from that point after, you want to learn about trust law because you're going to be in a position to be operating as a beneficiary of your trust that you create with your security agreement and all that, right? So this is what you want to get in the habit of doing. So here it says, so there is an easy way. Oh, fuck, hang on a second. All right, so here, there is an easy way and a hard way. The choice is yours. The state is only following your lead, right? But they can't tell you that you're the boss. So, you start filing these documents and shit, and they're going to ask you what you want to do. They ain't going to be the first ones there fucking making any fucking demands after that. They're going to see where you're at and see if you really know what the fuck that you're doing. Most of the time when you go in there after you start doing your paperwork and you put them on notice, you're going to be the only one in the fucking courtroom. And you're probably only going to see two people there. They ain't going to have the black robes on. They'll be operating in a chancellor status, I would imagine. That's what I saw last time I went, right? I was still kind of green and new with this whole situation, so I kind of just went toward a different direction. And so it had to do with my driving license and shit. So I just ended up getting the fucking license. I subsequently have given it back, and I fucking rescinded the contract and all that, and I gave it back to them and shit because they still were acting like fucking bitches. So I was like, all right, well then fuck you, right? Next time we have a conversation, it ain't going how you want. So, and that's how we're gonna play this game. So, but that was my choice, and I wouldn't recommend that. I just want the smoke. I'm with that shit, right? So, so that's why I do it. Or did it, right? Because even though I went out of my way to play by their fucking corny ass rules, they still want to play fucking games so we can play games. So rule number 3, there is no money. What do you use to pay your bills? If there is no money, what does the state use to pay its bills? Do you really have any bills? Whose name is on the contract with the electric company, the mortgage, the credit card, or the student loan? It isn't your name, it's the straw man's name. And so anytime that there is a debt created for the straw man by the straw man or with its name on it, that now becomes an obligation of the government to pay because it is its creation. You're just a mere user of it, right? So they have the obligation to zero the balance or to discharge the debt, but they do need your fucking approval. And that's why you're gonna go ahead and scroll down and look at the A4V video and learn how to use your fucking exemption, right? So the Constitution says no state shall make anything but gold or silver coin a tender in payments of debt. Well, there it is, a prohibition against states. Does it say that the United States or its agents can't use something other than gold or silver for payments of debts? No. Since there is no gold or silver coin in circulation in the United States and that all its businesses you have grown to love are in the United States, it is a good thing that the United States has created a straw man for you to control and Federal Reserve notes for it to use, or you would use no money or you would use your money if you had some. The straw man is able to pay all its bills with Federal Reserve notes, right? And you can issue your own promissory notes as well. So you can't, but the straw man can. Isn't it neat that you control the straw man or person? The trouble is the straw man can't get a real title to anything with Federal Reserve notes. You can get possession of the substance, but you can only retain possession as long as you stay in honor. The straw man stays in equity honor, and you fulfill the fiduciary duty as the presumed trustee. If you choose to go into dishonor, you voluntarily give up possession of whatever property that the state wants to take and gets the credits it needs to keep its business ventures going. Nothing personal. It's just business. And it is just fucking business. But I sometimes take shit personal too. I still struggle with an ego. I'm a fucking human and shit. If you want to call us that, right? That's what I fucking incarnated as. So this is what I'm representing, right? A physical form, physical body. This makes you subject to rules of the physical reality, right? So, but it doesn't mean that you're subject to the fucking rules of a fucking man, of another fucking man like that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Rule number 5, do not participate in public plays, right? The public controversy and the stupid ass games. When the state invites a strawman to participate in one of its revenue events, you have options. The presumption is that you will volunteer to present the accused strawman. They are, right, to represent the accused strawman, but you're going to go there as the authorized representative, not as the surety. They are pretty sure you will do that because you have always done that. Think of the event as a play. The play has actors with scripts. Even the Bible's a fucking script. It's a fucking scriptures in it, right? They're all fucking scripts that people fucking play out, and they assign characters to that fucking particular book. That shit is all a fucking movie. Each actor knows the plot, his lines, and the outcome. Their play has been practiced over and over. That's why, like, when you go in there and you start doing something different, you knock these assholes right out of their trance, and they get fucking scared to death. Just like anybody, if you ever try to wake them up about any of this information, they're gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. Yeah, fucking right, bro. Maybe you're the asshole, right? And that's what it is. So, you have to knock them out of their fucking trance. So, their play has been practiced over and over again in every country, in every state. The outcome is almost always the same. A man, not one of the scheduled actors, crashes into their party and carries out the plot. Without the man, the whole plot changes. The outcome changes. They need the man to get the same ending as they always have done before. When the man does not participate in their play, there is confusion and chaos. The planned script does not work without the man. This shit's funny, actually, because they do get scared and shit. And then they get mad, start looking at you like you're fucking crazy and shit. When in all reality, these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck that they're doing in there. And, ask them when was the last time they cracked open a law book. Ask them that. The unusual scenario includes the man volunteering to represent the accused strawman as a trustee. Each time a strawman is charged, a new trust is created, right? So every time they give you another court date, a ticket, fucking bail, right? These are all bonds, and they're fucking selling these motherfuckers privately to investors, right? So it is even possible that each time the strawman's name is spelled in a slightly different way in the complaining presentment, a different trust is created. There might be two or four different trusts referenced in the same presentment. Each trust is going to produce income for the plaintiff if the script is followed as planned. And that's why they need you to follow along, right? You don't have to, but they would love for you to. It all has to do with trust. Everywhere you look, there are trusts. The strawman is the trust when it is named on a complaint, indictment, or traffic ticket. Sometimes it is the Sestuke trust when it is the beneficiary of another trust. Sometimes it is the trust or another trust. Sometimes it is a corporate soul. Sometimes it is a defendant. Sometimes it is a plaintiff. Sometimes it is a debtor. Sometimes it is a creditor. Sometimes it is a secure party. It is a very versatile vehicle or tool. There are always at least 3 parties to a trust. I know that I told you 2 in the last video, but it is 3, right? So no one owns a trust on the private side, but on the public side, there is always a responsible party who is deemed to be the owner of a trust. This is a fallacy. It's often used by the state in relation to trusts that have real property as the trust corpus. They always want to know who the owner of the trust is. A trust is just an agreement among 3 or more parties. The trust holds the legal title to the trust corpus and is the one deemed to be the owner of the public trust. It is useless to argue with public property or is involved with Federal Reserve notes. It qualifies as a public trust. The beneficiary holds the equitable title to the trust corpus. The title is bifurcated. So that means split into 2. So you're the top of the pyramid, and you split it out into 2 from you, which would make it a 3-party fucking agreement, right? So the beneficiary of the trustee and the whatever it is, the fucking executor or something like that, depending on which title and who you want to hold what. But always understand that you're supposed to be the beneficiary. That's the whole point of the fucking creation of the goddamn trust to begin with. So, if you ever get to the point where you don't feel like any of the contracts or trust that you are engaged in with your public servants are benefiting you in any way, shape, or form, you have every right to fucking rescind any contract at any point for any reason or no fucking reason. But at that point, you need to give back whatever it is that you got from the situation, or they have to give back whatever they got. So if you were ever to rescind the contract with the state and things like that, at that point they would have to refund you all the money that they made from fucking jacking your trust, and you'd have to give them back all the fucking disrespect. So you'd have to hand back the fucking disrespect, and they'd have to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So these people are fucking retarded. So, but when you learn the game, I mean, you know, you fucking play that shit like a champ, and you don't have to operate in fear with none of these people anymore. And you're gonna see how they look at you different, and you can see the fear in their eyes when you knock them out of their fucking trance, because they're all fucking hypnotized, lied to, and what do you call it, programmed. So it is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these motherfuckers. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.